Hello everybody and welcome to the very first Ask Chris Tuesdays. This is the show where I answer the questions that you guys put on my YouTube videos. Now of course, all of the questions that I'm going to answer today have been chosen already, but if you have something that you would like for me to answer on my YouTube videos, leave me a comment below this video and maybe I'll pick your question next week to answer on my Ask Chris Tuesdays. So without further ado, here we go. Question number 1 is from M. Mariah Meow. Your website is blocked. Why? Okay, Miss Meow. I blocked my site for a couple different reasons. The main reason being that it was something that I tried and it didn't quite work out like I wanted it to. It was a lot of work for one person to manage it and to keep it up and to, put all the content together. And the quality just wasn't up to my standards. I still need a better camera. I'm getting better on the lighting, even though I still need some better lighting and better programs and this and this and that. And I haven't gotten the video editing thing quite perfect like I wanted. So I really wasn't ready to have something that big. So I started focusing on that, and I started back focusing on my YouTube channel. Question number 2 is from Passion for Life 13. I am looking forward to the Tuesday videos. I have a topic already. I am a beginner and I use patterns until I can make my own one day. My problem is finding them in my size. I would love to see a how-to on increasing a pattern to better fit me. Congrats on your guest appearance. Let us know when it will air. Thanks. Okay, so of course, your best bet would be to find something that is your size, or something that's very, very close to your size. That way maybe you could take it in if it were a little bigger than your size or whatever. But let's just assume you've done all that, and let's say that maybe you're a little bigger than the size that you need, and you need to make your pattern a little bigger. Now, to tell the truth, I've never taken a class on grading. That's some complicated stuff. But I have this little method that I use anyway, which kind of gives me the grading effect in a very simple way. So it's not grading specifically, but it is good. Maybe it'll work for you too. Okay, so I have this here, and I want to show you really quickly Miss Passion for Life 13, or Mr., I don't know who it is, but either way. So let's say you have your pattern and you want to make it bigger. We're using a torso pattern as an example. I've marked off the bust or chest, waist, and the hip, and then I've separated it vertically, and then I've also separated the shoulder this way and that way, so that you can open the pieces like that. So let's use an example. Okay, let's say you're an inch bigger. Oh, and I do want to say, first of all, to make this process more successful for you, to work better for you, please find a pattern that is close to your size already, and that'll help a lot. That way you won't have to add too much to it and distort the pattern too much. Because like I said, this isn't perfect grading, but this is something that should be able to help you. Okay, anywho, so let's say you're an inch bigger in your bust, your waist, and your hip. That's simple. Take that inch and divide it into quarters, because we're just looking at 1/4 of the body here. And then you're going to just move this out 1/4 of an inch. Now, what about this stuff up here? If your shoulder seam measures the same, and if your neck is not any bigger than the pattern that you have already, then leave these two pieces like they are. You'll just move this out, and then when you trace it, you'll trace around all of this, and then you will redraw your armhole to match this point and this point. Okay, so then you'll get a smooth line there. And then you'll just trace around the rest of this and you'll be done. Now, let's say that your neck is a little bigger, but your shoulder seam is the same. So you move this way a little bit to where it's adequate, so your neck ends up wide enough. And then you will once again connect these 2 points, the bottom of the neck and then the neck at the shoulder. You'll just take a curve ruler and smooth that out, and the same for the armhole, and then retrace everything else. Now let's say, for instance, that you're bigger in the hip and not in the bust area. Well, I would just pivot here, and then that'll give you enough. So if you take that same quarter and you pivot or open it here, I would open it there, and then re-square this line, and then square all the rest of this out. What else? And I would say the same. Now, if you are bigger in the waist and not in the bust or the hip, then that would be an easy change. Just take this here and add your quarter or whatever the small measurement is that you're increasing into, and you'll just blend it. That's an easy fix. What else? And the same thing for the bust. If you're bigger in the bust, I would add to it here, and then keep this the same. You might want to angle this, you might not. And then just blend your new armhole. Now, of course, that's going to look funny, so like I said, the more that you open this up, the more distorted the pattern, the more off balance it's going to get. I hope you understood that, but the more off balance it's going to be. So that's why I say try to choose something that's close to your size, as close as you can possibly get to it, and then start altering it from there. And you know, trial and error is going to be your biggest help here. Just, you know, try it, edit it, and see what works.
Question number 3 is from Andre Washington. I have a topic. I'm starting to use boning in my outfits, trying to be avant-garde with my pieces. So, could you talk about bonings? Oh gosh, this sounds so weird typing it. Also, there is an African designer who is called David Talle. Take a look at his line. He is really great. Do you think you could do something inspired by him?
Boning is a big subject all within itself. Right before I was getting ready to answer this question, I went and did a little research on the internet and was stunned at how much I don't know. Now, I'm going to give you the simple version, and then I'm going to show you a place where you can go and get more information on your own. Now, the simple version of it is that you use boning sometimes for structure, for support, or for shaping. Usually in home sewing, you would use it for gowns and corsets, especially strapless gowns. And you're going to need some kind of track or casing to put the boning in, because most boning you can't sew through unless you want to break your needle. It normally comes in a roll, or you can also get it cut into pre-measured strips, and you can also buy it in casing, already in a casing. That way you'll have something to sew to your garment, which makes it easier for you. You should be able to get it at your local fabric store. If you want some really, really detailed information about boning and want to maybe do a little background research, I found this really great site, and I included it in the description box down below. So you can look and read to your heart's content and find out about all the different types of boning. They got metal bonings, I think they call them steel bonings, and like steel coil, and like imitation whalebone and stuff like that. And Mr. Washington, you will be happy to know that I did check out some of Mr. Talale's designs, and I found something I liked in the fall 2012/13 collection. I may just go ahead and do a tutorial on that on August 31st, which is the next time-lapse tutorial Friday. Alrighty, that's it for this episode of Ask Chris Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed the questions that I went over today, and if you did, please leave a thumbs up for this video. If you have some different questions that you would like for me to answer in the next Ask Chris Tuesday, please don't forget to leave them in the comment section below this video. I might choose your questions for the next Ask Chris Tuesday. And be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on the next Ask Chris Tuesday. Until next time, bye sugar.